All right, man. Welcome.
What's
Awkward
up?
smile. What's your drink of choice for tonight? You got one?
I was drinking just tea, in my Mister Right mug. You know.
There you go. Oh, you saved the alcohol for the game. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
for
I
the
gotta
for the
be up
big
at
game.
4 a.m. tomorrow, so
Oh,
gotta be.
come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Everyone gets up before the sun. All right. So I interviewed Christian yesterday. That
Wait.
was well, I mean, the only difference because I interviewed Tyler first, but the only difference between you and them, or between him and you guys, is he's got 3 episodes on you. That's it.
Yeah.
But he started when it was a whole new team, like a whole different group of people, and the very very beginning when things didn't really make sense yet, and then you guys joined in. Um, are you? I can't be. How weird has it been for you as both a player and of course the character Garrison? Um, every single time a new person has been interviewed to the or interviewed, a new person has been introduced to the party. You guys were introduced in the heat of battle.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird, but I mean, honestly, like as far as like Garrison's concerned, like that's where you meet your friends on the battlefield. You know what I mean? The people that stick by your side, protect your
And
flank. Like those are the guys you know. You know.
right, and like the weird, but like that wasn't even planned. It's just how it happened. So like you guys going into session 3 during that goblin fight in Salvetti,
Mhm.
that fight was going to happen whether you were there or not.
Right.
So what better way to bring everyone together than
Yep.
protecting a city and then figuring out who the hell everybody is and what your positions are? And then the fight outside with Zombie Zenthus, you guys
Yep.
met Adam,
Yep.
who came
Yeah.
rolling in as that warrior jar
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
find Malador. And then Cammy was technically in the middle of a fight because you found her in the house in Tartarus.
Yep. Yeah. Was it in the middle or was it after the clock?
It was when I think it yeah, it was after you guys had no, she was in the room. You
Yeah.
mean
Oh.
did you find her after the fight? I think it was after the battle. You had
Yeah.
discovered her hidden in one of the rooms upstairs. Um, but either way, it's hilarious that every single time. Hang on, I got a dog
Yep.
barking.
Yep. Yep.
If I don't mute that, people will destroy me for yelling at my dog. How dare you yell at a dog? So we have gone 94 episodes now.
Yep.
We are quite literally 6 from the end, depending on. Well, I mean, it's 6 regardless. You guys are either going to live and succeed or you're not. There's not a whole lot of options left. What would you say coming into this has been both as you as a player. So we're gonna focus in on just you for a second. Both of you as a player and a character. What is the biggest difference that you've seen from session 3 when you joined to
Mhm.
now? The 2-year time span that we have been doing campaign 1, the Royal Guard. What could you say is the biggest difference over that time span?
Um, I would say things have definitely gotten a little more singular as far as goals and what path we take.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just going every which way.
Hmm.
It was like in yeah, it was just like a lot of just branches going off. You know what I mean? A lot of different
Yeah.
storylines, and then just like, ooh, look, a nickel. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so we finally focused in on one and went with that. So that obviously uh, biggest, especially for Garrison, because his goal's been the same since the beginning. Just trying to do something to make a name for himself, so help clear his dad's name.
Yeah.
But and it's been taking some leaps and bounds to do that.
Right. Yeah, so we'll go negative and positive because that's the whole point of this. How close? Because I'm actually curious. How close has Garrison gotten to just saying fuck it and abandoning the team altogether?
Oh,
I
so
know that I know there was a
close.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Where he's like what, like, he doesn't like to give up, but like that's why what is it when we got to, what was it, was it Coast City, and he just started going off on his own. He was just
yeah,
like basically like, this was what it would be like, like
yes.
like this is just bliss, like
And that was after he was bitten by Carlette, but still just kind
yeah,
of went off on his own, made his own decisions, didn't have
yep,
people fucking it up.
yep, yep,
It's
yep,
just
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, but he's like, all right, but maybe he knew like the task that he was undertaking was obviously too big for just him.
yeah,
So he needed to try and get these guys heads in the game, basically, and focus them wherever he could.
yeah.
So he could wherever he, like the instances where he would like blow up on Malador and shit like that, try to give like the pep talks, like it was
Right.
just, that was his, trying to get everyone to focus, like get their head straight for the task at hand. Because
Did has Garrison always thought of himself as like the moral judgment or leader of the group, or did that happen over time?
it kind of happened. His mentality is, uh, he'll do it until somebody else steps up.
Okay.
Like he'll take the reins. Like he doesn't think of himself as, he's like his own worst critic. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he doesn't think of himself as a leader, but like he's like, but I'll do the job until somebody better comes along, basically. So
Yeah.
uh,
And yeah, your thing about like hooks and shit. I've said this before, but like I tried, man. Like
yeah,
when you and I had that private conversation, and I won't bring it up because I mean it was warranted.
yeah,
It really was. Like when we went to Cooper Tandem, I was like, okay, so I've got Octavius died, but I still have Ellen Crow, so I can attach her to Vidar and his new character Yorick, and that's easy without being like cheese dick. That was very easy to attach them because it made sense to do it, and because they had gone out on adventures and all that shit together, which she targeted those people. And then so I that hook was there but gone because he
yeah,
died. So now I had to reintroduce it later. But then we had Balador screaming about going to Coast City, and then I had your scroll that
yeah,
led you and Vernon to Gaudium.
yeah,
So we were doing this already.
yeah,
And at one point, I was running 3 games in 1 week because the entire team was fractured.
yeah.
Um, and then all reconvened out in the desert and at Coast City, which was fine. um, so yes, I understand the frustration with that. It's gotten better though, yeah. Would you say
Oh
like
yeah,
everyone's kind of yeah.
yep, yep. Oh
Um,
yeah.
as a so I'm gonna go through a series of questions that I asked the other two, but this is more conversation than interview. So
Uh-huh.
we're gonna talk, but a lot of it is just my curiosity. Now that I've asked two, I've got to ask everybody. Um, in terms of okay, so I mean it's a lot because I know you're a big note taker, so this may or may not be easy depending on what your notes were. What event that took place between when you arrived and now that you guys heard about or discovered or started, but never actually happened? Would Garrison like to either go back and rediscover and go through, or just like, is there an event that you wish you could have been a part of?
Uh, Not so much a part of. There are some mysteries that I would love to solve. namely being when I was in Gaudium, and the fact that my blood opened the door, and why the hell that happened, and obviously the whole my mom and father's best friend being there. That's also something I want to look into, but at the time, I think Garrison too, just he thought that a lot of it was just tricks from Ellenwood, like
Yeah.
just to like throw him off and stuff like that. But the blood in that demon door thing is something that like he's just like, I should probably look into this. Like, but it just like, and that was before I was a vampire, so it's not even like it was something to do with Carlette. So that was just all me, all natural. Like, but yep.
All right. Yes. Dogs again. People came home. Ugh.
That and the uh, change of Salvetti. Like,
Oh yeah, because it's flooded now.
excuse me.
You talking about that change or one prior to it?
Well, I kind of wish we had a flashback to the war. I thought that would have been a cool little one-shot episode. Like if we
Yeah.
all just like did a war episode. Like I could have played my dad, and
Yeah.
we could have played that whole thing out. But
That's actually not out of the realm of possibility.
yeah,
So, because I am doing a what if one shot with Octavius. What if he didn't die?
yeah,
So yeah, going back to the Great War that started everything, that's
yeah,
not impossible.
yeah, yeah. But yeah. I mean, as far as that's concerned, that's pretty much all I would want, at least for Garrison.
Okay. So okay, so like basically take everything from when you arrived to now and spread it out on the table if that's even possible.
Mhm.
Um, your favorite moment so far, and then your least favorite moment,
Uh,
and it's a lot, I know. But if you could pick one, like your the one you love the most, the one you hate the most, out of everything that's transpired.
So probably one of my favorite parts uh, was the battle in the Sash's home base.
Okay.
Even though we lost, we we did a lot of damage and we did a lot of you know group tactics that worked. Like
Yeah.
that's part of where Garrison saw the potential of the group. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we took out a lot of guys, and a lot of it had to do with uh, stuff that like working together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To last as long as we did. My least favorite, and I'm sure probably everybody's gonna say it, was the desert. Fuck that desert. Uh, so that was. I mean, I didn't mind it too much, but it was just so long in that desert.
Yes, yes, that was literally 3 sessions were in that desert.
Yeah, yeah, and then if a bonus thing was just that disgusting shit. I just hate it. I hate it so much. It's just so
Gladys.
gross. I understand the usefulness of her, but she's just disgusting.
That's why I love it. Like my favorite part about Gladys is just describing, because it never gets old.
Yeah.
It never isn't gross. So just describing every time, like Cammy sits down on that couch, and I'm just like, yeah, you're sitting on snot. It just squishes
Yeah.
and yeah, that's my favorite part is describing the mechanics of that shit because I just watch everyone's face. Oh, it's so cool. It's so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, those yeah, that was my favorite, least favorite, I would say. Well, and well, yeah, I mean, there's so many. I guess Garrison's little stint of terrorizing the Sashes in Coast City,
Yeah.
that was fun. You know, putting them up on the pikes and all.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, Vlad the
Um.
Impaler.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. You were trying to get that name for yourself, and then it all went sideways like everything else did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, with Garrison being kind of like the forced voice of reason for so long, was there, and I mean, this again is probably pretty obvious, but was there ever anything that the team needed to do that Garrison really didn't want to do?
I mean, I really didn't want to go to Coast City, but I knew it would shut Malador up. So I was just like, all right, let's just do this. Like,
And I
let's
mean,
just,
to be fair, you guys went there a hell of a lot earlier than I thought you would, which is why
yeah,
you guys had so much trouble getting there. And because,
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, I bet.
yeah, you guys went there way earlier than you were supposed to. I was not expecting a 14-day trek across the desert that early in the campaign.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
I could have done without it, but I mean, it did help a lot. You know, I
yeah,
saw, you know, looking back now, I could be like, okay, at least it was like kind of useful. You know.
right.
Um, but
So, is there, on the flip side to that, is there anything that Garrison felt the party should do that you didn't do?
yeah, um, that's a tough one.
Because there's been a lot of like checks and balances left unchecked and unbalanced. I'm wondering
Yeah.
what one sticks out in your mind the most.
Well, I mean, actually, going back to the other thing, the other question, obviously, the orphanage part was always very
Yeah,
beginning, very thing that they should not have done.
right.
uh, still waiting for that to bite us back in the ass. Pretty sure that one-eyed kid's still out there.
Oh, the
um,
one y'all met in Coast City,
yeah,
the creepy
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Uh, but something. I'm sorry. What was the question again? It was something.
So you answered the one of something that he really didn't want to do but knew he should. So that was
Yeah,
going to Coast City.
yeah.
And then the flip side to that, something you really wanted to do but didn't get to.
Trying to think. I feel like there should have been more we could have done in the alternate worlds, but we kind of like rushed out. We had to rush out, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but as far as you know, what I don't really know. I mean, there was a lot of things I wasn't happy about, but I think the alternatives were just worse. You know, so it's like, I mean, I'm obviously maybe staying in Salvetti in Cooper Tandem instead of just hightailing it across the desert, uh, or me staying in Gaudium doing that. That would probably be it. Something that I wish we could have done,
Yeah.
but didn't. That could have helped, and like just focusing on Relictus itself instead of. I feel like we got to the higher grade bosses than Relictus was probably like the mid grade, and we just jumped right over them to now. All right, now we're going after the thinkers, like these
Yeah.
gods. I was like, we probably should have started at like maybe the demigods, or like
Right.
these other guys. Like his whole thing was like, yeah, we got to take out Relictus, and then I was in Relictus for like 2 sessions, and then that was it. Like,
Right.
so
And no one wanted to go back after that. That was
yeah,
just,
so
it was over.
that would probably be it. Now that I'm saying it, like focusing more on just getting rid of Relictus, because I mean now, I don't know if I should say it in this interview, but like now it's like come to bite us in the ass, with the
Yeah.
what's going on. But yeah, I just I really would have liked to just knock that guy out of the park,
Fair enough. So as a, and it might be two different people, as a player and as a character, who do you think is like the main bad guy, if there is one? Do you think it's multiple, or do you think there's one person still controlling all the shots? One BBEG.
I don't know. I still think it's the thinkers, that cabal that's kind of controlling everything. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any. At least there's been no evidence of just like one singular BBEG.
Yeah.
Uh, so I would say it's got to be the thinkers still. Because even in that alternate timeline, they kind of like put Ellenwood in her place. You know what I mean? Like, so I know it's not her. So, and if anything, it seems like she would have something against them as well.
Yeah.
Someone of her stature and power, like she, taking orders from somebody. I don't think that's her. So, uh, yeah. I'm still gonna go with the thinkers. I don't. No other major names have popped up. That I
All
can think
right.
of. So, or it's Vernon is just the ultimate BBG. It's just him, just in the background, just
Just slowly waddling around,
yeah.
watching everything happen until he finally gets there. Yeah, that'd be funny. So battle hardened Garrison, your favorite fight so far and your least favorite fight.
Uh, so as far as like singular, I would go the Elwyn Crow fight, just because that was a fight we probably shouldn't have won, but did by just sheer luck and decent rolls.
Right.
uh, and then my least favorite probably would be, oh gosh, trying to think. Trying to think back on 2 years of fights.
Right. Been a lot of fights,
Yeah.
a lot of different battles here and there with different people.
The one in Gaudium prison with that creature, that homebrew creature.
Mhm.
That was kind of annoying, but I wouldn't say it was the one I hated the most. I'm trying to
You talk
think.
about the Cyclops that you met
Me,
later on by being teleported to their village. That one.
no, 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 no. When we went into the prison in Gaudium, me and Vernon, we fought at the end to
I
get
think
out.
I thought that was a Cyclops.
Was it? I thought it was
Yeah.
something that like had like I don't know. It was like stabbing us with his toenails and shit like that.
Yeah, that was Cyclops, but it was kind of unkempt, because when you guys went to that Cyclops village with all the tree houses and shit, I
Mhm.
had told you that you recognized
Oh, okay.
they looked familiar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was just unkempt. That's why his
Yeah,
nails were, he was in a prison. He was being
yeah.
used to help torture people.
Um, trying to think. Aside from the fights where like it was like clearly one sided, like with Vidar's dad and shit,
Yeah.
uh, I would obviously don't like that one because I got taken out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I would go with that. I mean, this is probably one of the Ellen Wood Crow fights that I hated. But there were so many.
There were so many fights. But a lot of them were like out of inconvenience because there's been a few of you throughout the campaign that have literally tried talking your way out of shit, and then
Yeah.
there's always one that just initiates the fight. I think there's only been a handful of fights that you guys couldn't get yourselves out of, quite
Yeah.
literally. I'm never like, you guys are gonna fight no matter what. I always give you guys the option to try and like
Yeah.
trick your way out, talk your way out. But so many of them, I've got like two of you in the corner going like, hey, what should we do? And then one of them's just like, I'm gonna hit him. And then the
Yeah.
fight starts. And it's like, okay, well, all right, let's go, let's roll.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Like Garrison always likes to try and put a plan together, and other people are like smash. Like
I have noticed that the plans and the talking amongst the group has gotten a lot better.
yeah.
Now that we're finally at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
The talking
Now
and the
that
planning
it's
is-
all over, yeah.
yeah, the talking and the planning has gotten way better. But that'll translate into the next campaign. So I'm there's a lot, and I mean this is coming from the one that created it. I'm proud of a lot about this campaign and how it went. I'm proud of the group as a whole, like crazy, because I have literally, like, and it sounds like a weird like father figure. I have watched you guys grow over the last 2 years. It's very strange to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Considering you're 2 years younger than me. But there's a lot of it that I'm proud of, and then there's a lot of it that I'm disappointed with, and I'm taking both of those and moving it into the next one. So this was very much like a trial period for everybody.
It's like your firstborn kid, you know. You always mess up on the first one. You get it right on the second one. You know, it's fine.
The first one's the
like you still love it. You still love it. Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. A lot about it that I love, but then there's a lot about it where I'm like, ugh, I fucked up there.
Yeah.
Should have done that better. Should have done this better. But like I never expected this to go beyond a couple of sessions. To be honest.
Yeah. I was very surprised actually. It's all coming together. We're almost 100 episodes in now. You know?
Right? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of that goes with like my experience with leading games and playing games. Like 4 or 5 weeks in, everyone just kind of gets bored and goes in different directions. And then of course, I'm 4 or 5 weeks in, and everyone keeps coming back. I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, well, I better sit down and actually like start mapping this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go with NPCs on this one, and then we'll do the next one. So the favorite NPC throughout the world of Moondos that you guys have met, like the one that you love and the one that you hate. So your most favorite, your least favorite. I'm curious because everyone's answers have been different so far.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of a fan of Trock. As much as I still want to murder him, just because as a challenge type thing, and because like he wants to murder me for that bounty. But I do like him. You know, he's just like your typical like anti-hero. You know what I mean? Like he's just like he'll do whatever, doesn't matter. Like, but you know, very he's like Garrison's like white whale almost. Like he's like, yeah, I want to fight that guy. Like it's like, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Right. Probably bud into a really good friendship afterwards. Who knows?
Yep. My least favorite NPC. Let me see if I should have his name down here. Let me see. Looking back at my notes.
You even made a note of it.
It was the gnome from the very beginning in the potion shop.
Oh,
Where am I? Where's session 1?
I actually might have that too.
Lanzu. Lanzu?
Lanzu. Yep.
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 Yeah. What kind of a fucking gnome has a potion shop and he can't even friggin' read any of the writing on the potions?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lanzu. Yeah.
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 Yep.
The old shaky
Yeah.
guy. That. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. That. Like, really? You're just gonna give me a potion? Yeah. I think this is it. I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is how you make your living? Like, I would imagine if you sold bad potions, you're not in a business for very long.
Look. It was an import-only business. He didn't know where they came from. They were all in different languages. No, he was just old as shit.
Yeah.
And the one that showed up to work the most. And you guys never went back in when there was anyone else working there. So it was always Lanzu. It was always him.
Yep. I feel like there was one of just like everybody in Coast City that just couldn't give me directions to anywhere. They were just like, yeah, I don't know. Like I was like, what do you mean? You live here. Tell me the directions that I need to go. And
That
like,
actually
oh,
got mirrored.
Yeah.
And you made that connection too. That was mirrored in the Clarolando Empire as well.
Yep.
Literally the same mentality.
Yep. Everyone's
Where
like,
they
oh
would,
yeah, like what? Like you live here. Just tell me where to. Yeah. When I was trying to get to the stadium, like
yeah,
like it's like that way. Like what do you mean that way? Like
go that way. They just pointed.
oh yeah. So all those guys, fuck that.
All the ones that didn't know. Well, the thing about Coast City is it's kind of like it's a lot like Florida.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of people that are born there. They move there. So, yeah. Or they just go there for the festivals or to, get whatever Coast City has to offer, and then they bounce out. So, a lot of like when you guys would approach someone, I would literally roll. Are they a native or are they a tourist? And every fucking time they were a tourist. So I was like, I don't know. May as well have a fucking pamphlet saying like, where do I go from here? A lot of them do not know. A lot of them literally just go there to vacation during certain parts of the year because you guys were there when the festival was coming to town. So a lot of people flocked there. Oh man, so that was NPCs. Okay, here's a question I love asking. As Corey, which character throughout the world, player or NPC, do you most relate with?
I mean, obviously, I would, aside from my character, that's a good question. Try to think now. All the characters, huh?
Mm-hmm. Anyone that you've met that you can remember that you've encountered, player or otherwise.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think maybe. You got me in a pickle here.
Right? It's not an easy one.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. I mean, aside from just like, thought process wise, I would think I would relate more with sorry. Aside from something just fell off, like I got a ghost in the house or something.
It happens.
I would go with probably Vidar's character. Or Vidar,
Yeah.
Christian's character. I think him and I have like the same, because like he's very similar. I would think thought process wise to Garrison.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think, I'm very meticulous thinker, so it's not. I don't know. Yeah, I would go with Vidar probably.
Okay.
If anything else pops up, maybe I'll think about it. But
That's all right. I know it's a difficult one, man. Like,
yeah,
look, I created all of these people aside from your players,
yeah,
and I don't even know how to answer that question.
yeah,
I've asked it 3 times now, and I'm going, who the fuck would I relate to the most?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to
And
think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good one.
what's been your favorite okay, so what has happened throughout the campaign that uh excited you or shocked you, or like a reveal, or just like something that happened throughout the campaign that like literally you couldn't sit still in your chair. It excited you, it shocked you, something that you didn't see coming.
Huh. Something that excited me, shocked me, probably. But did kind of shock me was I'm drawing a blank on his name now. Malador's dad blowing himself up.
Oh,
Uh,
Antolon.
Antolon, thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that was probably a shocker. I was just like, oh, okay, all right, that's gonna happen. like, um, and then there's just there was so many like reveals, twists, like. Oh, it was Elwood Crow, you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
everyone's just like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like, and then, or it was Xander was, Vidar's dad. Like, it was just so many just like reveals and shocks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they all kind of just like blend together. So it's like you can't just pick one. You know.
Do you have a favorite, or is it that they blend together too much?
Uh, it kind of they blend together too much, but I'm trying. I'm trying to think. I remember our reaction to it being Elwyn Crow. I just can't think of the situation where everybody was like, "Of course it's Elwyn!" Like I remember, like specifically that episode where like everyone was just like, uh, where something was revealed. It was Elwyn Crow. We were all just like, again, like really, like
That may have been just before the battle with her, the old lady in the crank and yank. That may have been where that happened.
was it? Was it that?
It may have been because I know Vidar went in there looking for Xander or someone that resembled Elwyn Crow, and like literally put his rapier to an old woman's throat, and then that old woman turned out to be Elwyn. That may have been it. Was I know it was one of them.
Yeah.
There were a lot of moments.
That's what I mean. It's like it's hard to pinpoint it because like there were so many, so they all blend together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. It probably would be that one if that was it. Um, yeah, and then it's just it's like oh I guess the emperor's alive again, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
so it's like yeah, it's like yeah, that would probably be it. That one then.
Fair enough.
The Ellen Crow surprise. Because
It's a
it's like
series
yeah,
of
because
surprises.
it's like you expect it, but then it's like the one time you don't expect it. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Right.
okay, it's Alan Crow again. God damn it!
Yep.
Like, maybe
Um,
this time.
I'm actually not even gonna lie. She was created as a possible, not just long term, but like the final.
Yeah.
Um, and the fact that she's back is hilarious, and I don't want to reveal why just yet.
Uh-huh.
I did have to tell Tyler because of Octavius, but that one's gonna be another what the fuck moment. Um, But yeah, man, we're reaching the end of it, and it is insane. It is so fucking crazy. Like I said, that grid pattern that I put down, that giant chessboard, that was literally just so that you and Vidar could make that connection to a previous puzzle she put you through. And then him choosing to teleport, I was like, yeah, do it, because like he hadn't done it for a while, and I was curious as to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But my list of snafus was a lot shorter, because I was like, we're nearing the end. I'm not going to teleport him 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But depending on how he rolls, it could either be like a oh shit moment, or it could be a reveal for the rest of the group.
Yeah.
And he rolled just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough where I could put him 100 feet outside of the kingdom and let him see a couple lines come over the horizon, a very familiar face, and then head back to the group where the real tragedy was. But it was just enough. Like I had it all mapped out. I literally had it mapped out where it was like a natural one is here, right?
Yeah.
On like if he rolled triple zeros on the 100, or if he literally rolled 001.
Yeah.
And I had everything in between. What's gonna happen? 5, 10, 50, all the way up, and it was like 26. Okay, cool. Like it just happened to be that one. So he doesn't have luck on a D4 chance, but he has luck on a 100 die chance to land where he needs to land to not die.
Yep. Yeah, it worked out.
Oh man, it's been so. And actually, I want to thank you, by the way, because you were talking about how everything was out of control for a while. That conversation that you and I had privately actually really helped me. At first, like, will I admit, at first I was like, fuck this guy? Yeah, because that's what creators do. You think that you've created the perfect thing, and then someone challenges it and you get all fucking butthurt. And I was for about a split second. Until the very next session, where I started actually like putting up barriers and pushing you guys in one direction. And then you end up at the crank and yank and you close a chapter by killing Ellenwood Crow. And I'm like, you know what? The motherfucker was right. And then I just started doing that everywhere I went. So there's been several times since then, even with being teleported out to the Cyclops village.
Yeah.
The way he rolled his teleport where he fucked it up.
Yeah.
It should have only brought him there.
Oh. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's away from the party and I'm dividing it again. But instead I was like, you know what? The whole party's going. Fuck it. Yeah. Everyone's going. And I put you all in that forest just before the village. There's been so much. And then all of Malador's cards.
Oh yeah, those lovely cards.
Lovely cards. Yeah.
I'm glad he's finally able to possibly going to try to identify them now at the end of the campaign.
Well, he actually did identify them. Him and I went through a couple of the things that he would have done had he been playing yesterday.
Oh, okay.
One of them was casting Identify on the deck of cards, and he's not happy. So we're going to have to deal with that when we play again. Which I'll let him reveal that when we play. But yeah, that it was not a good result.
Nice.
Yeah. Like he has gone through the ringer. He lost the rider because the rider got the amulet that he'd been looking for and then fucking said peace out and vanished somewhere. And then he identified the deck of cards and now that's all fucked up. So yeah, we had a nice conversation earlier about all that.
Nice.
About where that left his character.
And I still stand by. I told him at the very beginning. We had that whole conversation in the tavern where I told him when he lost his shark form. And he was just like, trying to like ask me like what to do. And I told him, I was like, just if you make yourself better, when you get that form, you will be even better.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to focus on your core person. Like,
right.
And if you make that core person great, I was like, then everything else that follows is just supplemental,
Right.
But and like how I told him before, I was like, yeah, he's just trying to obtain power. I was like, but you should be powerful. I was like, It's two separate things.
And you had Yeah, like that conversation happened back when we were still using Craig. Fuck you, Craig.
Yeah.
So like prior to episode 20, that's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
And literally like 3 episodes ago when you guys were in the tower.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 conversations. And they were the same conversation.
Yep.
And nothing changed in between the 2.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
then he wants to collect all these powerful items, but then he forgets he has them. He doesn't use them. Like he
Mhm.
can't use them. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, so what is this? What is this power that you have that you've obtained? You can't even use half of it. Like, but if you just make your like, I could go on a whole rant about it.
There are a lot of things, and like I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of it was me. Um, I hadn't played, let alone led, in 5 years.
Yeah,
So I went on there all excited that you guys actually wanted to play, did all this homebrew shit that I didn't study.
Mm.
And then you guys went on there and was like, "Hey, I want that one." I'm like, "Ah, fuck." So a
yeah,
lot of it was me being backed up against a wall, but in the moment I learned it, and in the moment I did it, but then I left it up to you guys to remember that you had it.
yeah,
So if you made it like based on your subclass or an item you had or a weapon you used or a skill you had, if you made a decision and didn't incorporate that, I just kind of took a back seat and was like, okay, well, I guess they
yeah.
forgot, because I can only remind you of so much.
Oh yeah,
I know there was a lot of like, especially toward the beginning, there was a lot of butting heads of like rules and rule lawyer shit, and then my my scapegoat was always like, well, it's homebrew, so it's
yeah,
ultimately my choice. But like, I've grown too with you guys, to be honest, because at the beginning it was very much like, this is my game. You guys are just lucky to be a part of it, and now it's our game.
yes,
And I'm not gonna lie, that took a while.
yeah,
I'm not ashamed to admit that. That took a long fucking time for me to sit here where I'm sitting and go, you know what? This isn't just mine.
oh yeah,
I may have built it, but they're playing in it. This is as much there as it is mine. And then when I kind of put the walls down, then the rule of cool came out and everyone started having more fun. And it
yeah.
was, yeah, it became a lot of fun. A
So
lot of fun.
what I love about D&D is it is it's a story that's told between a DM and the players.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And as long as, that story is told in an exciting, entertaining way, uh, then uh, it's going to be great no matter
Yeah.
what. But if you and I've seen it before in other games where it's people always it's the players versus the DM, and it's not the players versus the DM. It's
Yeah.
not. It's like we are in this as a collective to have a
Yes.
good time and to tell a
Yes.
good story. Uh, and that's where a lot of people like try to. Uh, that's where a lot of groups fall apart
Yeah.
because it's like there's always going to be butting heads or uh, you know me trying to get one up on you or you trying to get one up on this guy and so on and so forth. Like
Yes.
and so when you get everybody that just like can collectively together and just like play out this awesome story, it's gonna be great. Like
Right. My favorite parts, and I say parts because there's been multiple. My favorite parts throughout this campaign has always been I came in with a plan and you guys just destroyed it. And
yep, yep,
it's my funnest. It is my like most fun moment ever. Because as I explained to you before, I have 3 paths that I create. This way, or this way. And then you guys always find a way to create a 4th or a 5th path. But even
or
with
we go
even
backwards.
that part. But even in terms of like combat, okay, they're going to come up against this thing. Chances are they're going to fight it based on past experience. So I'm going to put this over here, but I'll have the small 10% chance that they don't over here,
Yeah.
and that'll web out. But then they're going to fight this guy, and it's scaled to fight this many people at this level. And it's got this, this, and this that it can use. And chances are a few people are going to go down. And then one or multiple of you will do something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And it's over. That's my favorite part and it continues to happen. It continues to happen over and over. Like when they were in the tower, and it was literally just Tyler and Jake playing because no one else could show up.
Yeah.
They when the evil essence of Emperor Dorum came out of that portrait, Malador just asked for the amulet.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
He's like, "Hey, can I have it?" Like, are you fucking serious? But like, I had to think in the mind of Emperor Dorum as he is, and then the evil. Like, okay, so this guy's gonna be a trickster. This guy's gonna be an evil, playful bastard. So what's he gonna do? So he decided to tear the rider out of Malador and say, "You can have the amulet."
Yeah.
If you're, and then the rider was trying to convince Malador, like, kill all your friends. You don't need them. Come with me. Here's the amulet. And surprisingly, he said no. And then they went a few rounds with the rider, and then he dimension doored out, and they haven't been able to find him since. But that encounter surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I literally thought they were going to go toe to toe with that essence, and that wouldn't have been a good day for anybody.
No, I can imagine not.
But, and I love the idea of kind of like MMOs, where just because you guys are collectively level 13 now, you might enter an area and come up against a person that you're not ready to fight yet. And if you make the wrong decisions and you go into battle with them,
yep,
sorry about you. Which is kind of like what Alcaron was. He's nasty.
Alcaron, that was the thinker?
That's Vidar's dad.
Oh, that's Vidar's dad. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you guys demolished Zarut. That was another one that fucking surprised me. When you guys all went into that that bubble dimension for Cammy. Was that everybody that went in there?
I don't think I wasn't there for when they fought Zarut.
Yeah.
Because I remember being very upset about killing the one thinker that was like kind of on our side.
Well, it turned out, because I can elaborate because it already happened. It turned out that Zarut had gone away from the thing, because he was actually, like, his literal title was the tiebreaker. He had actually gone away from whatever Ruinette and Darth Mantle were trying to do, which is the dwarf and the fairy that you guys met.
Yeah.
He had gone away from whatever it is they were trying to do, and he literally posed as Emissir, which was Cammy's patron.
Yeah.
And started manipulating her against your group. And then everyone found out that that's what he was actually doing, and rather than asking questions, they all just gathered up and killed him.
Yeah.
So I can understand why Garrison would be pissed, because it's like, well, we had questions and now none of them can be answered. But that goes to do you talk yourself out of it, or do you just, because Yorick was also given the mission by him to go steal an artifact from his god, which was Futa, the Archfey.
But it turned out to be, I thought that turned out to be Zarut.
That was Zarut.
Yeah.
No, Zarut was Emissir that gave Yorick an option of get this artifact from Futa, your patron, or you and your entire team are going to die, and gave him, I think it was like 6 or 7 days to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Which the entire trip to the Clarolondo Empire took care of that, which is why everyone got sucked into that bubble, and then it became a fight, because he didn't accomplish it. But it was another thing where they could have just offered something else or talked their way out of it, and everyone was like, fuck it, we're going to fight.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, they killed him. That was another one of mine. Like, one of these days, I'm going to reveal the pages of the people that you fought. And just looking at it, you'll wonder how the fuck you guys accomplished most of this stuff. So, but yeah, a lot of it surprised me too, man. A lot of it. And it's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
But every good thing has to come to an end. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, even though campaign 1, you guys are finally starting to find your footing as a team.
Yeah.
We've got to end it before it gets boring. We have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's time. How are you going to feel about going back down to a level 1 character and starting all over again?
I actually love it. I love just creating new characters, anyways. So I don't mind it as much. It is going to be different, obviously. Got to be more, not gung ho
Right?
going into shit. So uh, that level 1 HP is no joke.
No, hell
So
no. How many times, or if there was one that you can recall, if there was one out of the collection that you can recall, or several, did Garrison ever think he was gonna die? Like, got into a situation with the party and didn't think him or anyone else would make it out of it.
well, I mean, probably towards the end of the Sash fight, where he
Yeah.
kind of knew going in it was a tall ask. Uh, and then just, I mean, mainly it was Malador's fault that a lot of us went down. Uh, but we'll save that for a conversation for another day, I guess. um, but yeah, that was probably like, all right, this is gonna be a party wipe right now. Like,
It's gonna be a TPK. One of these times, and I hate to say it, but one of these times we're all going to get on camera and Skype, and I'm going to hit the record, and I'm literally going to go around the room, and we're going to say, Garrison and Corey are in the spotlight. Roast him. And we're just going to go around and see what happens. And I guarantee the roast of Malador and Jake will be the worst out of the whole fucking group.
Yep.
Like, it'll be bad in jokes and bad in jokes and bad in jokes and bad in jokes, and then we'll get to Malador and Jake, and it'll just be bad. Like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too. That might be an end of the campaign thing where I just have you guys roast each other.
Oh, I've had thoughts of like Garrison going up to the group and just giving everybody a piece of his mind, like, like,
Right?
fuck you, you're fine, fuck you.
Right?
I
Right?
actually have no problem with you.
Right? Like the whole fucking half-baked thing.
Yep.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
Yep.
Speaking of which, um, in terms of player characters, favorite and least favorite. I know who the least favorite is. You don't even have to answer that question. Because it's been everyone's least favorite, unless yours is different. But
as far
favorite and
as,
least favorite
the
player characters,
like so
like the
favorite,
actual party.
the actual party. Uh, I did. I mean, if he ever survived, I thought Octavius would have been pretty cool with his Galactopus.
Yeah.
But it's just such a bad build that he just dies instantly in every instance. But like glass cannon, if you will. But and then least favorite, as far as ones that stuck with the party, or ones that,
Yes. Or either way, it doesn't matter.
yeah. I mean,
Past, present, past or present.
I was never like I never interacted with him, but obviously that fairy. What the fuck was his name? The one that killed himself.
Oh, Blake.
Flair. Yeah, Blake. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to the episodes and I was just like, yeah, I don't like this guy at all. like he was yeah, no thanks.
That was quite literally a gag character. It was
Yeah.
a side quest that Dawn in the item shop over in Cooper Tandem was going to put you guys on to see if you accepted it or not for like this huge bounty once you got to Coast City. It was literally a gag character.
Yeah. No, I mean I knew he was a one-off, but if we're counting those, I would say him. But
Yes.
yeah, he just I was just, just I wasn't even there to interact with him, but just listening to him on the episode, I was getting frustrated with him. You know what I mean? Like, I was like at work, like, I hate this guy. Like,
Like, what the fuck?
yeah, yep, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yep. His build was a socially awkward, emo, depressed fairy.
yeah. I mean, he played it
With
very well.
yes. And
Uh,
the whole thing was that like he didn't understand why he was alive and why anyone else wanted to be alive, and he had an endless fireball spell.
yeah,
No spell slots, just endless. He could just drop it at any time. Which in retrospect, now that I think about it, I should have done Firebolt, because Fireball at that point was like just TPK worthy.
yep.
But that was kind of the point.
If,
The whole point was to keep him in the damn jar.
yeah, oh yeah. And then everyone's favorite character smashed it. So
And let him out. And there it goes.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
gotta love it. Gotta love it.
oh man, that was fun. Yeah. Looking back, there's a lot. There's a lot of like there's a lot of moments that we could put under the microscope and do. There's a lot of side quests we could do. There's a lot of solos we could do. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a one, and if you want to join it, I'm going to be doing a what if Octavius lived. It's not gonna. It's going to be like a limited. It won't be a one shot, but it'll be like a limited kind of series, like
Series, yeah.
5 episodes or whatever the fuck, just a what if. And then I'm also, just as a gag, because of how Judd loved them so much, I'm doing a one shot of the bullshit races in homebrew.
Nice.
Like you have to pick one that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna do a one shot based
Jar
on
of
those.
cottage cheese.
That part, or the cheese whiz, or the
Cheese
actual bread. It's just gonna be a whole party of sentient beings that have no movement and no one can do anything, and you're just gonna sit there for 2.5 hours hating life, and that'll be the one shot.
Yep.
And someone's just gonna walk in and take the jar of cheese whiz and put it on the bread and eat you both, and then it's over.
Nice.
It's gonna be like a weird Family Guy episode. Just staring at the screen.
Like it's gonna be like one of those episodes where you're waiting until this ends and then the actual episode starts, but then you find out it just never ends. This is the episode.
Exactly.
Like you think it's one of those gag skits, and it's like, nope, this is the whole episode. Like,
this is the whole thing. 2.5 hours of just this.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. Just like loaves of bread and cheese whiz and weird shit mage handing themselves around the room. That's all it is. They don't do anything. They just pull a Toy Story effect in the kitchen, and that's it. Have a good night. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of shit. And then like the idea that you had is another one that I can put together, where it's a one shot of the Great War. That is actually a really good idea.
Broken clock is always, always right at least twice a day.
Yeah. And I didn't actually even think of that, of letting you guys explore that. So, and the weird part is like I have all of that written, saved in my notes, and it was never supposed to be something you guys even saw. I have it all written out for like history buffs, and if you guys went to really research it, I could tell you what you saw. But it was never supposed to be played out. But now I can actually put it on the screen and say, oh well, here we go. Let's do it.
Yep.
Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Great.
But all right, man. We'll close the deal on this one.
All right.
And yeah. So thank you all for watching. You're the third one I've done, and believe it or not, like I'm getting better progressively. So
Nice.
by the last party member, I'll actually be good at interviewing.
Nice. All
right, man. Thanks for coming by, and yeah, 6 more episodes with this guy, with Mr. Garrison and Mr. Hat.
I know it's gonna be kind of sad to see him go, but hopefully he lives on. We'll see.
It's all right, man.
But
that 20-year, yeah, that 20-year time skip, go in as much depth with that as you can, because who knows? He's still going to be in the world somewhere. We're just not going to focus on any of them for the next campaign.
Right.
But they're going to be out there somewhere. So
back notes, you know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
But all right, everyone. Good night.
Bye, guys.